Hello and welcome to the Kopala TV main news. We get straight into today's headlines. Home Affairs Minister breathes salvo as he warns criminals terrorizing Chingola residents. Expert challenges government to issue comprehensive statement on debt management. UPND bubbles for 2021 as party implores its members to obtain NRC. Gambians protest as they accuse president of trying to mutilate constitution. Join us in a bit after this. To present the Kopala TV main news in detail, my name is Wabwila Musongole. Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo says he will not leave the Copperbelt until normalcy returns to some parts of the region. Mr. Kampyongo says criminals terrorizing Chingola residents will soon be arrested. Details are in the following report.
He is on a mission to ensure that peace is restored in Chingola district on the Copperbelt province. Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo says he will only leave Chingola once normalcy returns to the troubled mining town. Mr. Kampyongo is not alone on this mission. He is accompanied by senior defense and security officials. Lately, Chingola residents have been living in fear after word went round that suspected ritual killings had been reported in the area. Reports indicate that criminals are gassing homes using unknown chemicals. This sad state of affairs has seen Emmanuel Nonde, a 20-year-old CBU student, losing his life after his family fell victim to the criminals. The Home Affairs Minister has also met Copperbelt Police Commissioner Charity Katanga.
The places that we showed you, they were using the windows to remove the blocks where that woman met her fate, and other places in various parts. Now they have changed. The same group, now they are going on top of the roof. They remove some iron sheets and then spray inside. So yesterday when we are going at this, when we are doing the patrols, somebody went up in the roof there. So the coders were nearby. We rushed there. Said no, he has gone inside the ceiling board. I was with paramilitary police officers. They entered the ceiling board. They couldn't see him. After some time, we just saw a cat walking and disappeared.
Police on the Copperbelt have since arrested 7 suspects so far in connection with attacks on families in Chingola. However, police maintained that no ritual killings have been recorded on the Copperbelt. Joshua Mwetwa, Kopala TV News, Chingola.
Government has warned citizens not to take the law into their own hands every time they have grievances to put across. Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo is saddened that Luangwa residents in Kitwe have damaged the only police post in the area. The residents smashed windows at Luangwa police station before vandalizing the facility. The residents took the law into their own hands after they accused police of shielding a suspected criminal whom they wanted to stone to death. Joshua Mwetwa has the rest of the details in the following report.
Residents of Luangwa in Kitwe have appealed to government through the Minister of Home Affairs not to close the only police post in the area. The residents made their appeal when Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo addressed them after inspecting the vandalized Luangwa police post. The residents say if the police post is closed, the crime wave in the area will increase.
So I would advise the community
And Home Affairs Minister Stephen Kampyongo has advised citizens not to take the law in their own hands every time they want to put across their grievances.
So tule milomba mwe bantu bakwalesa bakateka wenu bayidiga lungu n'abantu tumokuta tumone umutende wa kitashani waba kuno kunchende noma mule ikala muri amwine emuli abale kitemilandu nimwe mufiro kwafurisha kwa bakapokolo kutashani ukusanga bantala misoka nomba mwe bantuntulu mwe batuntulunga mwalawo manaka pine bantala misoka mwalawo na ole fintu vya kumwafurisha nishimule ishika mwebe Pati bana bantala misoka nga bakapokola bafumako nishibena lyapuma nishibena imirimo ya kitashani ya moneka.
The Home Affairs ministers, however, assured residents in the area that government will soon move in and rehabilitate Luangwa police post. Joshua Mwetwa, Kopala TV News, in Kitwe.
Political parties jostling for the vacant Chiluba constituency parliamentary by-election have accused PF of allegedly engaging in electoral malpractices. Diana Kafwala has the rest of the details.
Campaigns in Chiluba constituency parliamentary by-elections are getting hot. The race is tight and all the 5 contesting political parties do not want to take chances. However, allegations of electoral malpractice have emerged. Opposition political parties taking part in the poll have accused the governing PF of allegedly distributing handouts that include mealie meal to voters. The National Democratic Congress (NDC) has questioned the motive by government of handing over ambulances by the Ministry of Health in Chiluba.
In the Chiluba by-elections, I think the rampant corruption is there for everybody to see. We've been seeing the videos, we've been seeing the pictures, and I think the whole country has seen what is going on in Chiluba. You know, we've been calling upon the ECZ to act. You know, I'm sure you saw that last time after we went ahead, wrote a letter to the ECZ, and also followed it up. They did come through for the ferry, you know, in terms of trying to look at the way forward, you know, but sadly with that, in as much as the ECZ came through for the opposition, what happened is that they increased the amount of the ferry from 700 kwacha to 8,500. So just to transport your vehicle from the Samfia Harbour, you need to pay 8,700 kwacha, meaning that a round trip to and from the island is about 16,000. 2 vehicles comes already to about 32,000. That's like buying a Corolla just to transport 2 vehicles. So all these are electoral malpractices because this has not been happening all along. It's just happening during the election. And also in terms of the mealie meal, you know, in terms of the money, in terms of all this that is happening, you know, it's very, very unprecedented that such a thing can happen, you know, in the clear eyes, you know, of the people to see. You know, it's really so sad that each and every by-election is bringing with it, you know, all different kinds of corruption. Is actually getting worse and worse and worse.
The alleged abuse of state resources has not gone down well with the civic society groupings.
The continued abuse of public resources, public facilities, public state resources by those that we have entrusted to do so in order for them to appease the political appointing authority has continued to be a menace in our electoral process. We continue to see the organizations, institutions like the DMMU, Disaster Management and Mitigation Unity. Now we have the ZAMPOST in Chiluba being involved in abusing public resources for the purposes of appeasing the party in power. The distribution of branded mealie meal, GRZ, DMMU, not for sale, in Chiluba, Kalomo, Gwembe, and many other areas where local and parliamentary by-elections are being held is a clear demonstration and testament of the abuse of the Electoral Code of Conduct. We want to appeal to the Electoral Commission of Zambia that the Electoral Code of Conduct was put to level the play field. We expect the Electoral Commission of Zambia to move in and censure these institutions that have continued to undermine its effort to hold free, fair elections, to hold and conduct free and fair elections for all stakeholders in the process. This issue of having milling mill also from Superior Milling Company finding itself in Chiluba Island is a source of concern, because we are aware, or we have been told, that Superior Milling is under the Industrial Development Corporation, which is a development agency of the Republic of Zambia. Is this mill being taken there free of charge, or it has been secured by the DMMU or by the government or whoever? All those things requires that the Electoral Commission of Zambia is proactive and bring on board these partner institutions like the police, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the Drug Enforcement Commission, or any other law enforcement agency as provided for in the Electoral Code of Conduct. This blatant disregard of the Electoral Code of Conduct is what has caused a mistrust and loss of public confidence in the management of our electoral process. Under Regulation 3, the ECZ is mandated by that code to censure any government organ and institutions that is undermining or jeopardizing or violating the code, and therefore we expect this to be done. The same code outlaws the use and abuse of state resources in the by-elections in order to disadvantage. And the code calls for equality, equal opportunities in the conduct of electoral activities by all stakeholders. Please, may we see the invocation of the necessary and relevant provisions from the code on those that are breaching the Constitution, the Electoral Code, and indeed the regulations.
Last week, PF Deputy Secretary Mombipiri said the PF will not stop distributing milling meal to Chiluba residents, arguing that this was a government program. The Chiluba parliamentary by-election takes place on February 13th next month. Diana Kafwala, Kopala TV News in Kitwe.
The opposition UPND has embarked on a program to revive its structures on the Copperbelt province ahead of the 2021 general elections. The party is urging its members in the region to obtain national registration cards, NRCs, ahead of next year's poll. Blessings Maloma has the rest of the details in the following report.
The opposition UPND is on a mission, and this mission is a serious one. The party wants to ensure that it scoops the August 2021 general election at all costs with a resounding victory. Having lost the presidency several times, the UPND top brace is leaving no stone unturned. The UPND Copperbelt Provincial Youth Executive Team was in Mufulira conducting an audit of its party structures. Kelly Jivinga, the provincial youth chairperson, has urged youths on the Copperbelt to obtain national registration cards NRCs to prepare themselves for the 2021 general elections. Mr. Jivinga has a lot on his mind.
Kazungula ukwisafika kuchirawo mbokulya yali ama roadblocks kala chita delay abawa nensu abensha ama goods on the Zambian roads. Hello, Zambia is the only country okobesa report. If one got twice upon UPND, take note of that. Got twice upon UPND. Our borders in Zambia, especially I have established. Yakala still operates 24 hours.
And UPND operatives in Mufulira said their focus for 2021 is State House.
Kaba UPND tatuli relaxed ya aya kwati yona tuina kulefu abakaleke no kupenda getwa kwa president of State House. So I can urge you, my fellow youth, let us work extra hard. Let us work extra hard so that we see our president to the State House. Yes.
The UPND Provincial Youth Wing is this week expected in Kalulushi on a similar mobilization exercise of the party. Reporting for Kopala TV News, I'm Blessings Malama in Mufulira.
Economist Collins Mudenda says it is important and morally right for the government to give an official position on government debt because it involves taxpayers' monies. Mr. Mudenda has advised government to start giving updates on the debt that the country has accrued and how such debt is being dismantled. Last week, the Center for Trade and Policy Development challenged government to share public debt information instead of reacting to international whistleblowers when they leak such information.
You see, there's what is called public goods, such as a road, hospital, or any facility that is going to service the interests of the community, any facility that is going to improve the livelihoods of the community, make the standard of living better for the people. This is a public good because money will be collected from government coffers, which is coming in from taxes, from fines, from fees that people are paying, and then this money is going to be used to build a road, to build a hospital, or any facility, a school, and all that kind of thing. These are public goods. Now, imagine that there's this important public good that government has to finance. If government has money in its coffers, then they'll use that money to finance that public good. However, in developing countries, you have limited resources, not so much money, and so you are sometimes forced to borrow. And so government now wants to borrow, say, for a road, or for a school, or for a hospital. Now, they come up with this budget that this building or this project is going to cost. And so the current process that we have here in Zambia is that the central government has to take this interest to Parliament, and Parliament is going to debate and agree and eventually ratify, meaning that they allow government to borrow. So once government has the mandate to go and borrow, government will contract this debt, and they use the money they get to service this project, to build a road or to build a school, or it is whatever it is that government has to do. Now, this simply means that because members of Parliament have taken part in contracting the debt, because they ratified, they are supposed to inform their constituencies, the people that voted them into power, the people that they represent must be aware of what's happening in Parliament. So they are supposed to communicate to people. However, the communication that a member of Parliament may make to the constituency is not official, or may not be official. Although it's true, but it must be official, and so that is why central government has got the official spokesperson who makes official information, or who disseminates information that is government position to the public. And so that is the office that now has to reveal the standing of the debt to the public. Now, the public is extremely important in this because the money that will be used to service the debt, the money that will be used to pay the debt, it's coming from taxes, it's coming from duties, it's coming from monies that are being collected from the people in this society, in this country, the citizenry. The money they are paying to government in various methods, pay as you earn, you see, or corporation tax, all that. That's the money that is being used to service this debt. That's why it's basically public debt, used to make public good. And because the people are taking part, they are supposed to be aware so that they know how much money it is government has borrowed. They must know the standing of the debt at any given point, so that they are aware of what's going on. And should there be any debate or any discussion or any pressure, people must pressure based on factual information, because a government spokesperson must reveal factual and truthful information. Remember, there are other cooperating partners that could be watching, and they are able to tally some of this money. So government government is supposed to give official positions so that if any other party came up and said, no, actually what government has borrowed so far is this much, it must tally, it must correlate, it must be true, it must be same information. So that is why the official person mandated to give official position on government position, the chief government spokesperson, should be allowed to communicate this information so that all parties in the country, all parties in the economy, all the institutions that are concerned with this, once they are debating, they could be debating on factual information, they could be debating on true position of public debt. So it's important for government to review this information to the people so that people are aware, because remember, these are the people that are going to pay monies that are due in 2022, Eurobond, for example, monies that are due other times. Some of the money could be paid by the younger generation. People that are young and very youthful today are the ones that will be able to service this debt later on. So that is why it's important that they are aware, they know what's going on since they are affected. You've seen in 2019 was a little bit of a difficult year even for government, because anytime that they service any debt, it was felt, the impact was felt, because something happened in the economy. Too much money was collected. There was too much demand on dollars, therefore that pushed in terms of the exchange rate. It weakened the kwacha and pushed up the dollar. Someone's salary was delayed. So many things happened. Anytime you are servicing debt, the economy definitely has a big effect. That is why it's important that information is communicated to the public, because they are an interested party. They are a major stakeholder in public debt.
In case you have just tuned in, you are watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us after the break. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back. The Center for Trade Policy and Development, CTPD, has called on government to step up efforts aimed at fighting rampant corruption in the country. CTPD Executive Director Isaac Mwalipopo says the corruption perception that the country is grappling with has the potential to chase away potential investors.
Yes, there is a very strong link between corruption and investment. If you take a look at statistics that are sitting with the Zambia Development Agency with regards to investment pledges, and if you also try to look at actualized investment, one of the things that you actually find is that there is a big gap between the pledges that are made by a number of potential investors against the actualized investment. And one of the big contributing factors to that is the environment under which investments are to be conducted. So every time a potential investor is looking at a country and thinking about setting up an investment, they look at a number of key factors. Key among the factors is the level of corruption or perceived corruption. This is because corruption adds to the cost of doing business. It makes it unsafe for investors to come and set up their investment in a particular country.
The International Center for Research in Agroforestry has handed over equipment worth 450,000 kwacha to farmers in Kalumbila district of the Northwestern Province. Details are in the following report.
It was a well-structured research project. The project saw researchers, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock staff interact with farmers. However, the project has come to an end, and the outcome of this interaction in Kalumbila and Solwezi district is nothing but beneficial to the farmers in the various zones. This is why the team from the International Center in Research for Agroforestry, ICRAF, in collaboration with the Copperbelt University, CBU, are in the field to hand over 6 incubators and 2 smokers to the farmers in Kalumbila and Solwezi districts at a cost of over 400,000 kwacha.
The total cost for all the equipment, including batteries and solar panels, would be above 450,000 kwacha. Project is not going to get a second phase of funding, but it is in our interest that we could assist these groups to develop a proposal that can attract funding, hopefully to support capacity building.
So what we've done is that we have provided 6 incubators to different farming groups so that they can be using these for hatching of chicks, which can then be given to other farmers for food security as well as marketing.
Northwestern Provincial Agriculture Coordinator was part of the team and appealed to the farmers to guard the assets given to them.
The project has left a number of assets in the community that we need to manage very well.
And St. Francis Innovation Platform Chairperson Jerry Tambo was thankful to the funders.
We are very thankful to the project, ICRAF, SILA, and ZARI, as well as the Copperbelt University and the government for bringing the project.
Over 1,000 farmers benefited through the capacity building and have since adopted innovations in village chicken value chain and legume production such as soya beans and Solwezi beans. Reporting for NAIS, I'm Alice Nirenda in Kalumbila District, Northwestern Province.
The Department Resettlement under the Office of the Vice President has called on line ministers to embrace local integration that is being integrated in the created resettlement schemes. Resettlement Director Andrew Banda explains that the program is meant to ensure that ex-refugees and the host community live in harmony. The National Agriculture Information Service, NAIS, has the rest of the story.
Zambia has been home to many asylum seekers. This has prompted the government of the Republic of Zambia to implement the local integration program. And Mahela is one of the resettlement schemes under the local integration program.
This is what we call a technical working group that works with the effort that you are seeing in local integration area. So we thought it wise that as we have come to the end of 2019, we need to appreciate what is on the ground. Okay. Yeah, from there on, as we link up with the same community itself, we will talk to you, we are talking to you now, and the others, we will come up with some strategies.
Kalumbila district is the host of Maheva Resettlement Local Integration Program.
We've hosted this program in our district. As district administration, is our desire to make sure that as we implement, all the program and projects are implemented in line with government policy. Other biggest challenge, of course, apart from infrastructure, is the road network. I think we need to do much better in the road network, as well as in this time and age, we need also to give them electricity. Through your office, Mr. Band, I think Office of the Vice President should quickly come in and help to intervene.
International Organization for Refugees has also appreciated the program.
Zambia is hosting the refugees and has extended goodwill in accepting to locally integrate these refugees, meaning that they are providing them an opportunity to build their lives and plan for a future.
Maheva refugee officer Castro Singelengele took advantage of the visit by the resettlement director and shared their challenges.
I think there's need for more stakeholders to come in. Also, UNICEF to move in full-time to support the education needs. But we appreciate the government. As government, we've been doing quite much to ensure that at least the 3 primary schools in existence are in operation. However, the infrastructure also for hosting teachers, for example, or health workers, that has been one of the biggest challenges.
The local integration program will not only help in achieving long-term solutions to the refugees crisis, but will also help in revamping the agricultural production in Maheva resettlement scheme. Chapunga Tembo reporting for NAIS in Kalumbila district, Northwestern Province.
In case you have just tuned in, you're watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us after this. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Ndola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonse bana mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back, and now in foreign news. Residents of the Gambia are protesting against their president, Adama Barrow, who came into power in 2017 based on an agreement of a 3-year term, but who now wishes to sit a complete 5 years. Protesters were met with tear gas canisters shot by security units before the protests had even begun. We monitored Al Jazeera for this story.
It ended before it started. After multiple requests to protest against President Adama Barrow were rejected, the government gave demonstrators a short 3-hour window for what was supposed to be a peaceful protest. But minutes before it began, police fired tear gas into the crowds.
Well, we voted for President Barrow for 3 years. If he wants to click onto power, we are not going to accept that. So this is what prompted all this chaos here, and we will not relent. We are not going to retreat, and we will not subdue to the power of the presidency.
Thousands fled. Some were beaten. Many were left injured. Others killed.
Who did this to him? It's the police. Let me hold him.
As the injured were taken to hospital, Gambia's military deployed, backing the security forces. Organizers of the march and several local journalists were arrested. Al Jazeera was not granted accreditation to cover this demonstration.
We are a democracy. This is a democratic government, and we are committed to ensuring that we fulfill those democratic mandates.
Protesters accused Barrow of breaking an electoral promise he made to the people of Gambia who brought him to power in 2017. Shortly after being sworn in, Barrow told Al Jazeera at the time he would only lead the country through its transition to democracy, organizing elections in which he would not take part. But 3 years into his presidency, he says he will instead complete his mandate until 2021. For protesters, it seems Barrow is tightening his grip on power, just like his predecessor, Yahya Jammeh. And so, for many, the fight to protect democracy in the Gambia is not over. It's just the beginning. Nicholas Hawk, Al Jazeera.
And finally, in international news, the Chinese coronavirus death toll has increased by about 50%, with recorded deaths now at 56. We monitored the BBC for this story.
Well, it's still in a pretty dire state. I mean, hospitals are calling for donations from people in terms of face masks. The provincial government has ordered millions of face masks, so somewhere they're churning them out on the production line. Special military medical teams have arrived to bolster the local teams and also teams from Shanghai. But the problem is just so huge, and the lockdown area, if you could call it that, is getting wider and wider. Now, so where we are, we're just across the border from Hubei in Henan, but this is also a place with very much at the heart of this emergency. All of these cars are either from this small city or they've had to pass a screening point to enter. Cities right along this border area in the region are doing similar things. In some smaller villages and towns, they've just taken it upon themselves to say anybody who's an outsider who doesn't live there can't come in. So they're just kind of locking down the village and deciding we're going to, as a group, ride this out and don't let any outsiders out, sort of an effective self-quarantine protective zone. And the government in Beijing, given the extent of this problem, is considering much more drastic measures. Hundreds of thousands of people left Hubei before that transport lockdown was in place. Some of them were sick, seeking treatment, so they've gone to Shanghai, Beijing and other places seeking treatment. Now imagine they're taking the virus with them. That means the problem has also moved elsewhere. And so we could also see in the big cities of like Shanghai, Beijing, transport lockdowns in place there. They're already talking about preventing some transport arriving at the Chinese capital. Now, that hasn't happened yet, but again, it just shows how seriously the authorities are taking this and their preparedness to take much more drastic steps to try and control this problem.
To end the Kopala TV main news, we take a look at the headlines once again. Home Affairs Minister breathes salvo as he warns criminals terrorizing Chiluba residents. Expert challenges government to issue comprehensive statement on debt management. UPND bubbles for 2021 as party implores its members to obtain NRC. And Gambians protest as they accuse president of trying to mutilate constitution. Thank you for watching the Kopala TV main news. My name is Wabula Musongole and God bless.